Jen, I'm gonna need you to stop trying to hop on our BLM train, because this is not your stop. You guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Appreciate you for tuning in. We're going to talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City because finally we're at the end. This was part 3 of the reunion, and we finally are getting to more of the juices of why these ladies are really upset with Jen. She still has a problem trying to have accountability because she really wants to hop on this, oh, I'm brown skinned, you're coming for me, your accusations could really affect my life. Jen boo. Cut it. Cut it. It's not gonna work. You're not gonna get us to jump on your side. We're not gonna, you want to be a part of the party so bad, but you're uninvited. Matter of fact, nobody even sent you the RSVP. Like, girl, you are not on Gilligan's Island. You are kicked off. You keep trying to make fetch happen, i.e. racism. It's not gonna happen. Like, I can't with you. But we got a busy Wednesday, so I'm gonna knock out this review. Got Married at First Sight, and we have Real Housewives of New Jersey, y'all. That bitch is getting it cracking, okay? But yeah, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? And hit the like button, let me know that you guys stopped by. We're almost to the 2K mark. In my next video, I'm going to be revealing how you can qualify to get a good old, appreciation gift, like a little 2K giveaway, just to show you guys, I'm really digging the support and love that you guys have always been, showing me from the A1 day one, gonna stay one. Salt Lake City basically opens up with the ladies talking about the husbands marry, kind of like, their take on how the season went. Obviously, granddaddy, this is your granddaddy, this is your granddaddy. He ain't happy. If y'all know where that's from, black folks, y'all know where that's from. Yeah, so Andy's asking, Robert Sr. how he's felt about the season. He's clearly upset. And Mary's trying to calm him down. She's like, look, babe, we're not going to do this. She tried to be real Michelle Obama. When they go low, we go high. And she said that her and Jen made up. So he was like, okay, that's good to hear. But I'm still going to let you know my opinion, which was what she said was foul. And to see y'all going at each other like that and for her to go that low, for sure was a problem. Sharif, of course, came to his wife's defense and was like, look, I saw it. I told her that was foul. You don't never attack anybody's marriage. I want to apologize for her. Because obviously with them being on the cast, like the husbands usually do really good with getting along. But Sharif, I just need you. Ain't you tired, boss? Like, are you not tired of constantly having to talk this bitch off a ledge and apologize for her? That's why I'm convinced he got somebody else on the east side, because he maintains his composure and he definitely looks like that type of dude. But I would lose it being with Jen. I'm sorry. In 20 years at that, he gotta have him another bitch on the side. So they jump from that to obviously, they jump from that to Lisa talking about how she threw out her Rolex, her husband's Rolex one time because he forgot her birthday. Then we get to Meredith and obviously being on the show and, where they're at in their relationship. And she's like, we're good. Andy's like, you're like, how is it? She's like, fantastic. The way she like draws her words out, fantastic. And he was like, you're saying that with a little bit of like a tone. She's like, you think I would discuss my marriage with these women? I mean, is she fair? Is she not having a fair point? Especially with Jen there, like, I wouldn't say shit. So, Andy just asked them then, well, how was the show for you? Because I've been around plenty of marriages that either really help or they, split. She was like, it definitely helped us because it, held both of us accountable. We're able to play, like, look back and see how we were. And she's like, were we separated at times? Yes. She talked to other people. She definitely was talking to other people. So Andy asked Seth, like, were you ever out there dating? He was like, no, not really. I just could never, get over Meredith. And the way she kind of was just looking like almost shocked. I can believe it. I feel like maybe Seth like dated around a little bit, but Meredith was for sure getting busy. You could tell she was out there dipping in and doing it. But now they're back together, and that's all, that matters in the meantime. So they go from that to obviously she feeling some type of way about what Jen said about her relationship. Like, Andy asked, like, how do you feel watching, the ladies talk about the relationship? And she was like, obviously, like, I'm hurt. Like, these are my friends and they're spreading rumors. Jen so-called tries to apologize. I would never want to hurt you. Like, you're not, I would never want to do that to you, Meredith. I just, I was Heather, my good friend, and I was just telling her stuff. And once again, Sharif apologizes for her. And she is constantly crying. She just has a moment where she cries and apologizes to everybody, where she's like, Meredith, I don't, oh no, because Andy was like, well, Jen, do you have anything to say about, what happened? And she's like, I don't want to speak on it because, now that Meredith and Seth are back together, I don't want, that's like a mood point. He's like, but it's just ain't a mood point. It's a topic because you brought it up on the show. Like, you're mad because we're talking about something that you made relevant. I just don't want to do that. Like, her and Meredith are together, so what's the point of talking about it? I.e., that was her way trying to, like, just Homer Simpson this bitch and, like, slide back in the bushes and not really be held accountable for her really starting that shit off on the show. That's just true tea. She was really trying to just go. And it's like, no, bitch, you can't do that. Like, you can't do that, Jen. So Whitney and Heather, Meredith acknowledges that they both apologized, like, when the show was running. And she was like, today is actually the first time that Jen genuinely apologized. And I'm confused how it is that Jen, even after the show, rewatching the episodes, you never texted anybody and apologized. Every single girl has said, Jen has not called me, texted me to apologize. She waited to the reunion to do that. So therefore, I really feel like Jen, like, she's delusional. She really feels like she has no reason to apologize, or her pride will not allow her to apologize as much as she tried to convince Andy, oh, I have no problem apologizing. Bitch, bye. So the men get dismissed. After Whitney and Heather, told Meredith, like, we should have just backed off and, left it at that. And the men end up leaving or whatever. So they go from that to talking about Whitney and, oh, no. They start talking about divorce because of, obviously, Seth and Meredith. And Andy was like, oh, how common is divorce in, Mormonism, especially 2021. And Whitney's husband was like, it's not that it's not common. It's just outside of the Mormon world, it's a little bit more just, like, prevalent, which is true. People in Mormon world would rather stay in a fucked up relationship and be married and not have that, like, stamp on them. They don't want that stamp of, oh, divorcee. And you can definitely tell Bravo picks up when Lisa gets very defensive about, the Mormon culture. Anytime something remotely, like, she immediately is, like, there to defend it. And she's like, oh, well, I was divorced and, my husband was divorced. My parents are divorced too. And it's like, okay, yeah, the divorcing is not the problem. It's what comes after and the isolation and them making you feel like, oh, you're over there. Like, excuse me. And so Whitney's husband, I can't think of his name right now. I think it's Jim. I think it's Jim. He talks about how, he got the excommunication, envelope, the mail saying that they were just, like, excommunicating him. And he's like, as a Mormon, that's the worst, letter that you can get. And he started tearing up. And Heather got it because she, she understood. Granted, she didn't get the mail. You definitely can tell when people are just, like, kind of slowly, like, scooting this way, like, ugh, like, you got measles and mumps. Like, they look at you like the plague. And so Lisa definitely was, like, trying to, like, convert it the other way because she does not want people looking at LDS bad. But it's like, bitch, you got some bad LDS apples. Like, that's just what it is. And how do you call yourself a religion but then shunning people and treating them wrong and making them feel like, like, less worthy? And you're supposed to be like, sheeps of the cloth of the Lord, like, treating. That's why religion, like, really pisses me off sometimes, because people use it to, they use it to to their benefit. But nonetheless, Heather got into Lisa about how, how about you have that same, compassion for me? Like, you want to sit there and talk about divorce. Meredith's like, but why are you not like that with me? You're making it seem like it's just no big deal. And Heather was going off. But Lisa did admit, like sometimes when I hear something, negative, like I just get on the defense because of LDS. So she admitted that part. So now the husbands leave and then they get into Jen in Vegas and how that whole thing transpired. So Andy started asking the ladies about how they felt about Andy asked Jen about how she was gonna go on with this trip in Vegas. She's the CEO of Fun, but when they get to Vegas, shit goes left. And she was like, you know what? I just was expecting things to go better because Andy asked her, like, well, Whitney apologized, so why did things go so far left? She's like, yes, she apologized for, like, the timing and the place of doing at Sharif's party, but you followed that up with, these girls aren't your friend. Obviously, I'm going to use that as a time to talk. What I'm really annoyed is they didn't really expound on how Jen kept saying Whitney was the reason her marriage and the party was messed up. I really wish they had dug into that. They did not dig into that enough because that was the whole thing. She kept trying to blame Whitney for the party going south. And that would have been a good time to really see how Jen thought, like, it was Whitney's fault. So I wish, like I said, they had dug into that a little bit more. But basically, Whitney was like, shit, I was good. Me and Lisa and Meredith made up. I thought we was going to sit down. And she's like, for Jen to come at me like that, I was, like, genuinely scared. Like, what the fuck? So Jen was like, y'all don't understand. I sat there and listened to these ladies, dog me for 4 hours with that hypnotist. So Andy asked a couple of the ladies, because Jen preaches loyalty so much, how many of you guys feel like she's loyal to you? When I tell you, that was the most awkward moment of that reunion. Lisa being the only one to raise her hand. She's like, thanks, Lisa. She's like, bitch, nobody was like, Jen is not loyal. Because we saw how immediately when she's mad at Meredith, the first thing she did was go start spouting off about her relationship. So, Jen, you were on a bunch of bullshit talking about, I wasn't trying to hurt you. Yeah, you were. You said it on the show. Since she's not my friend anymore, she doesn't want to be loyal. Like, I'm going to say whatever. Like, you said that on the show. So, we see Mary starting to doze off, definitely look past her bedtime. She used to go to sleep early with Mr. Senior. But Andy was like, so Mary, what do you think about the ladies not thinking Jen is loyal, or Heather not thinking Jen is loyal? And she's like, oh, what was that? And he was like, I think you fell asleep. She's like, did I? So she actually did come back to and make a good point. Jen definitely only raised her hand because she was hurt and she was trying to get back at Heather at the hypnotist. So Heather was like, yeah, I felt some type of way about her trying to say I'm not loyal. Like, I've definitely been there. And she's like, no, because you said to me, that you were a horrible friend. She's like, no, I said I wasn't being a good friend because I was keeping stuff to myself and I wasn't expressing, how I was feeling. You're not going to compare me admitting, I should have, had more communication to you. Like Heather said, you can be friends with Jen. I want to, but without taking a face load of shit. Like, I don't want to have to be somebody's friend and deal with so much extra on top of it. She's literally fire and ice, and she's like, oh, well, I felt like I've taken a lot of shit from you too. She's like, I'm sure you have, but you did it. And Heather was very right. Jen, stop trying to say you took a lot of shit because she was saying, oh, I didn't tell you how I was really feeling. And Jen's like, well, how am I supposed to know, how to handle it if you're not telling me, how you feel? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry I didn't want to address the fact that you were talking behind my back, saying foul stuff, and you didn't think that, that would make me upset. And Andy's like, well, what are some of the things she said? She called me a walrus, a bad actor. I shopped on the Barnes rack, the dress barn rack. And the only role that I would get is Shrek. And it's like, damn, like, Jen, she was like, I just, and she was thinking about it, and she really couldn't have a comeback because it's the truth. She was going ham on social media. I think Jen definitely was using social media as her way to try and get back at the ladies, but it's too much. Like, it's too much, Jen. You just a lot. You a lot. And then for her to slightly be like, oh, she's like, I retaliate. I don't ever do it first, but I can't remember. Like, that's the point. Like, you just blank out, start saying shit, and Mary was right on the money. She's like, Jen, you gotta understand, you say stuff and you're sorry and you want to immediately take it back, but the damage is done. The damage is already done. And you apologizing doesn't just, make the situation go away at all either. So she's like, you guys don't understand. I sat there in that room for 4 hours and you guys attacking me. So, I got defensive, and they replay like her being aggressive as hell. So when Heather is like, bitch, you was aggressive, you were coming after us, for her to now start trying to do the black and brown train, you can't say that to me. You know how damaging that is? To speak to a woman like me and say that I'm threatening. Have I ever said I cut a bitch, Andy, I'd have my hands shackled. She's like, y'all would lock me up. It's like, Jen, you want to be down with this so bad. So bad. It's actually quite embarrassing because we get living in Utah as a darker person compared to white people. I'm sure there was, definitely some moments where they weren't so nice. And nobody's taking that away from you. But what you're not going to do is try to hop on a bandwagon to negate how you were acting. Because you were aggressive and you were threatening these ladies. So you have to call a thing a thing. And because they called you aggressive, nothing's going to happen to you, Jen. Unfortunately, if you and an actual real black person was standing next to each other, you would definitely see the difference. And you like, oh my God, for people of color. Bitch, you Hawaiian. You not even black. Like, the fuck? Yeah, you darker than white folks, but like, you want to hop on this bandwagon to try to make them feel bad, and it's not going to work. Like, it's not going to work. So now you talking about, having that lady tell me to be quiet and tell me to, listen to everybody, and they do, it was a never before seen footage, and the lady's like, I'm definitely getting the sense that, they feel like you're a bully, you're maybe manipulative, is that something that you guys feel? She wasn't coming after you. She was saying clearly how these women felt. Just because you don't like what she had to say doesn't mean she was coming for you, Jen. So Heather and Whitney's like, no, we get that you felt some type of way, but you were aggressive. You're not just going to try to, and then she goes off. You don't get it. I didn't even want to go here because it's so painful. I didn't even want to do this. But Andy, there's a difference. Mary, I'm sure you know. When you say something like that to me, it could be damaging. And she's like, I'm not trying to, do this. I'm just trying to freaking educate you. And Heather said, bitch, I don't need you to educate me. I need you to stop coming for me on social media. And it's true. Like, Jen, if somebody wants to educate some folks on Black Lives Matter, I'm sorry, you're not going to be the spokesperson. You're not. So she gets upset, runs back to Sharif. He got to calm her down again. She's trying to explain, oh my God, they don't understand. The words that they say tried to come after me. They were just so damaging. They don't understand what it's like. Because she kept trying to say, yeah, because Whitney was trying to actually be like, girl, I get it. But, we got to be educated on it. We got to learn. And Meredith was right. Yes, we understand white privilege is a thing. But it is damaging to put a racist title on somebody, especially in these times. And for her, she definitely was trying to stick that title on these women like, oh, I'm going to point it out. And Meredith even said, you know what, I get that vibe from you guys. I don't know. Are they white women who are understanding, empathetic? I think they're that crowd where it's like, they understand it, they get it's happening, but they don't want to dip their toe in fully and submerge themselves in the maybe going to a protest. actually voting for people who help black people. I think maybe that's the vibe that Mary's picking up. Y'all drop down in the comments, what kind of white people do you think Heather and Whitney are? I don't think they're racist. I definitely think they're aware of stuff. And I definitely think, they're down to help to the extent that it doesn't affect their life, if you get what I'm saying. But after getting her little pep talk, she comes back. She's like, yeah, Sharif just had to make me understand. Some people just don't want to learn. They don't want to listen. There's nothing I can do about it. But in these times, people they're becoming way more open. So, Whitney had to be like, girl, we understand these times, and we're just going to listen and open to learn. But Heather was definitely, look at her face was kind of like, this bitch. Because she called her husband. She like, she's trying to do the racism thing. And I'm just trying to figure out, like, how, basically she trying to figure out, like, how she eats it. Because no matter what Whitney says, Jen was going to combat it with, down for the people thing. And Whitney's not going to, as much as they're right in the situation, how much do you push it without looking like you're not acknowledging how somebody feels? And Whitney was right. Like, you're basically just going to have to eat this one because you're not going to win with Jen. So basically after that, they got to the end. The ladies talked about how they viewed themselves on the show, what they can change. Lisa said she want to listen better. Bitch, that's definitely it. Listen to your husband because he's telling you he wants more time. Mary and Jen, making up. Heather, trying to be more vocal. Meredith, realizing, I definitely was more friends to, others than they were to me. And she actually did ask Jen. She said, Jen, I genuinely want to know if I had treated you like you treated me, would I be a good friend? And she was like, no. And she's like, exactly. And she's like, I get it, Meredith, you want to come for me, use me as a scapegoat. No, bitch. She's like, because, other people were involved. And Lisa's like, I wasn't saying nothing, but she was definitely trying to implicate Whitney and Heather. But it's like, bitch, that's not the same because they're not the ones claiming loyalty. They're not the ones who's close with Meredith. They're not the ones who brought it up on the show first. You brought that shit to them. So, no, you can't be the one claiming loyalty and then get checked on it and then want to be like, oh, but you're trying to use me as a scapegoat. Like, I'm so glad this shit is over, but I'm interested how next season's gonna go because Jen can't always be like this, y'all. I'm gonna get exhausted. I feel like they're gonna need somebody that's gonna just like be energetic and cool, but not be like Jen. Can address the situation, but not be like Jen. I can't handle two of them bitches, okay? But that's pretty much all, Jen Shaw in the show. That's everything that kind of happened. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about the season, how y'all feel about the ladies. Do y'all feel like Jen Shaw is ever gonna get over this situation with Mary? Can they genuinely be friends next season? Lisa, you being friends with Jen has a right to definitely make Meredith feel some type of way. Meredith's like, yeah, I'm not trying to make her pick sides, but how do you go from one moment being like, I can't stand her to, oh, I can, understand her and, be empathetic. And she's like, if you're my friend, like if I'm Meredith and Lisa, you're my friend, bitch, I'm gonna feel some type of way. You watch this whole spread lies about me or lies, not they might not be lies, but she spread my business and you let her do it. Like, for real? I can't think of anything else that necessarily happened. I love Heather. I love the fact that she got down into it and was telling Jen, bitch, you whack. You came after me. Yeah, Jen, you need a chill pill and a therapist. But that's it, you guys. I'm going to try to hurry up and watch Married at First Sight, get into that. So I will see you in the next review. Deuces.